Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sandro Bueri. I focus on behaviour in business and on the impact of the levers that leaders can pull to drive great performance and great culture. This is The Week That Was, your go-to series for fresh perspectives on how human behaviour shapes business success. This week, I'm going to be looking at Goldman Sachs, a firm that's decided to go all in on artificial intelligence through a sweeping transformation referred to as 1GS 3.0. The goal is to drive efficiency, to streamline teams, and to boost productivity. But behind this story of progress, more than a dozen senior bankers have quietly walked out, apparently frustrated by delayed promotions, shrinking bonuses, and a culture that now apparently feels colder and more transactional. So the real question is, can Goldman reinvent itself through artificial intelligence without losing that essential human spark that made it successful in the first place? Or is this transformation really about efficiency over empathy? I don't know what's going on inside Goldman Sachs. So what I'm about to say is based on what we see in the public domain and is a hypothesis, but I would like to share some thoughts in a way that hopefully helps every organization going through the AI efficiency dilemma. So first of all, let's look through the lens of leadership. When a big change happens, the rational case is rarely the problem. It's actually the emotional journey that decides whether people come with you. At Goldman's, the leaders have been very clear on the what. The what is about cost discipline. It's about the deployment of artificial intelligence. It's about streamlining teams. But people are actually missing the why for each person. And that's where employee engagement begins to fray. The brain is prepared to engage with logic, but only after it feels safe, seen, and included. So if you're leading change, here are 3 ways to build engagement with the emotion of change. First of all, acknowledge the loss. Every transformation involves loss. Loss of routines, loss of status, loss of predictability. When leaders skip this step, people feel unseen. So say, I know this will feel uncomfortable for some, and that's normal. It acknowledges that you see the human cost of progress. Secondly, create a shared language. People engage when they have words to express what they feel. Give your team a vocabulary for the journey. At Goldman, the conversation has been heavy on numbers and light on meaning. The emotional narrative, the why, is the glue that keeps teams together. And thirdly, make sure that your communication is two-way. An announcement is not a communication. Real dialogue happens when leaders stop talking and start listening. Open town halls, quick pulse checks, drop-in sessions. When people actually see evidence that their input is being used, they start co-creating. Engagement isn't a marketing campaign. It's a two-way conversation. Every initiative involves the management of opportunity, the management of the upside in relation to the downside. Every transformation carries both threat and potential. Goldman calls 1GS 3.0 a reinvestment story. It will free up time through AI, and it will redeploy talent where it adds most value. But the deeper question, is this about innovation or survival? And that depends how the opportunity is managed. So here are 5 practical ways to manage opportunity as opposed just announcing it. You need to frame the narrative carefully. Language defines emotion. So please say, we're simplifying so we can focus on what fundamentally matters, not we're cutting costs. It's the same action, but the words generate very different emotions. Secondly, Link efficiency to purpose. If artificial intelligence saves time, what are you actually freeing people up to do? That opportunity must be directed, not just declared. Thirdly, retrain before you restructure. People can't seize opportunity they haven't been prepared for. Upskill early and you'll probably uncover potential you didn't even know you had. Number 4, empower micro-innovation. Invite teams to reinvent one process. For example, one meeting, one habit, using artificial intelligence. And make sure that you reward curiosity with the process, not just compliance. And finally, keep the fear on the table. Ask openly, what are you worried about? What are you worried about losing? By naming fear, you neutralize it. That's what I refer to as emotional risk management, and it's as vital as financial risk management. Finally, let's look at what we refer to as the levers of change. Culture is not shifted through slogans, but through systems. So here are the key levers that Goldman is currently pulling. Let's start with hiring. A hiring freeze, can signal control or decline. So please be transparent about who's affected and for how long. When it comes to tone setting, tone at the top, tone in the middle, memos are emotional broadcasts. So please use language that connects. For example, we're evolving and every single one of you is part of it. Training is important. So please, let's not hand out jet engines without flying lessons. Let's identify who we need to retrain and who can train others. Incentives matter. Let's reward adaptability. Let's reward collaboration. Let's reward innovation. Let's measure how teams use AI to enhance relationships, not just outputs. And finally, performance management. Let's make sure that the metrics that we're using to manage performance in this context do not lag the reality of what's going on. So we need to create a bridge period where feedback is developmental. It's not punitive. We need to audit our related performance systems like we would audit your financial statements. A few takeaways. Please lead the emotion, not just the logic. Managing change effectively is 20% plan, 80% psychology. Let's treat opportunity like an investment portfolio. Let's balance quick wins, but also let's look at long bets. Let's balance speed with presence. Let's move fast, but let's not move alone. Let's make our learning visible. Let's celebrate when artificial intelligence makes work better, not just cheaper. And remember, culture is the ultimate operating system. Technology scales behavior, but only if the behavior is healthy. Why does Goldman's challenge matter? It matters because Goldman is a large firm that people look up to. The ripples they create will travel fast from New York to London and beyond. So this story is not just about Goldman. It's about every single business that's trying to modernize. It's about embracing technology without erasing our essential humanity. That's the real question that we need to address. That's it for this week's Week That Was. If you found this useful, hit like, share it with someone leading transformation, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel for more weekly insights on how behavior drives business. I'm Sandro Bueri. See you next week.